Hello, I'm Tracy Grimshaw. Welcome to A Current Affair. That report on Kmart's new store layout coming up. We begin with the ATM skimmers targeting your cash. Tonight, the professional gangs using high-tech devices on suburban teller machines. Fraud Squad police say thieves are also using tiny spy cameras to get your details as you enter them. But as Ben McCormack reports, there are ways to protect your money.
Oh, I feel like they should be put in jail, really. It's not really fair.
It's capable of capturing your card data as you enter the card.
The risk is the same as if they were to take your PIN away from you.
Treat your credit card like cash. Don't leave it out of your sight.
It's high-tech, highly organised, and it's fleecing your bank account.
Oh, it's just disgusting. Like, people work hard for their money.
They're the new super skimmers being placed on ATMs to catch unsuspecting customers. We'll show you what to look for.
That pinhole camera there is more than capable of capturing your PIN as you enter it.
So you don't get caught. Plus, is tap and go really safe? We have the verdict from the banks and the police. And tonight, a new consumer alert.
I think they're very brazen and very clever at the same time.
How your bank account can be hacked whenever you log into Wi-Fi.
And once you do that, that gives them the opportunity to go ahead and take your money.
So when I went to the ATM, I didn't notice anything unusual. I just went up to it as if I would any other ATM, got my money out, left, didn't think anything of it.
What Jordan Williams didn't know is that a skimming device had been attached to the ATM.
I first noticed there was a problem when I went to go transfer my car loan to my car dealership. I had $14,000 sitting in the account and $1,600 of that was missing.
There were 8 attempted withdrawals of cash from her account. 4 were successful.
It said TSB Hammersmith London and I was a bit like, oh, what's that? And I called my bank up and they were like to me, are you in London at the moment? And I was like, no, I'm calling you from my house.
This is a very serious crime. It can cause emotional distress and trauma to victims.
Commander Arthur Katsajanis from the Fraud and Cyber Crime Squad says skimmers can make criminals millions of dollars.
We've had in the past many instances of overseas organised criminal syndicates, particularly from Eastern European countries, who have come in here very quickly, very well organised, and put credit card skimmers at a number of ATM machines around the metropolitan area, able to skim the details, obtain the PIN numbers of the victims, and then they fly out before they're detected.
To skim your credit card and steal your money, thieves need 2 lots of information: your card details and your PIN. And here's how they do it at ATMs. First, they attach what looks like a genuine piece of the machine over the top of the slot where you insert your card. This copies your card number. To get your PIN, they use a camera, usually by attaching a false panel on the machine with a tiny hole for the lens.
Just pull the card skimmer off the ATM, check this out.
Is it easy to tell if the ATM that I'm using has been compromised?
Look, it's very, very difficult.
Superintendent Matthew Kraft is showing us some of the skimmers that the Fraud Squad has found.
And this device here is placed over the original card reader, and it captures your card data as you insert it into the machine.
So you'd have no idea, or a user like me would have no idea that that's not a genuine part?
That's right. You need to be very careful about having a look at the machine before you start.
The police don't want to show us the technology behind the devices, but it is sophisticated.
And they certainly make these devices to suit, to make it look as real as possible.
The spy cameras are even harder to detect.
Once again, this just looks like a piece of plastic, and this would be placed on the machine vertically like this. But if I can just turn it, and right there's a tiny little pinhole camera. It's more than capable of capturing your PIN as you enter it, and that's why it's so important to cover your PIN in all circumstances.
I won't put my bank card into any ATMs regardless anymore.
The bank eventually refunded Jordan Williams the money that was stolen from her account, but she'll never trust an ATM again.
I didn't think there was anything wrong with the ATM I went to. I didn't think this happened in Australia, but, you know, now that it's happened to me, I'm going to tell everyone I know, don't use them.
Where is my card?
Your card is in my pocket.
If you use your card to pay for taxis or a restaurant, you're also at risk.
I was just about to pay the fare, so he just passed me the EFTPOS machine, which was here. As soon as I leant in to go and put in my PIN, I saw him under the right-hand side of the dashboard.
On his way home from a night out, a quick-thinking Mitch Walker caught this cabbie skimming his card.
Obviously, he wanted a bit more money than the actual cab fare.
Here's how it's done. All it takes is for one extra swipe of the card in a bogus machine, and all of your details are saved into the device and later downloaded to a computer. Then they can be copied onto dummy cards, and the crooks have their own version of your card for use wherever they like.
If you're going to a restaurant or a cafe, don't let the credit card out of your sight and insist on using the POS terminal in front of you and within your sight. Don't allow your credit card to be swiped more than once.
What about contactless payment like tap and pay?
Yeah, the beauty of tap and pay, generally you keep it in your hand, you don't put it into a device, so the opportunity to skim it isn't there.
But can thieves swipe your details simply by getting close to your handbag or wallet? Yes, they can, but they can't get your PIN number, and without that, the details are useless.
So it is very, very safe. In fact, in many ways, a lot safer than carrying cash around with you.
The Commonwealth Bank is leading the way with customer security, including developing a new app that gives customers much more control over the security of their own accounts. Clive Van Horen explains.
So you can lock your card. Any ongoing recurring payments, like if you've got a direct debit paying for something, that will be unaffected. But any unusual transactions will be locked.
But there is one area where you could still be at risk.
If you're going into a cafe or a restaurant that's got free Wi-Fi and you go onto that Wi-Fi and you're doing personal transactions or banking transactions, internet banking and the like, you could be vulnerable to becoming a victim.
Unsecured Wi-Fi allows anyone to hack your device. Without you even knowing, someone sitting near you can download your account details and passwords. The rule, never access your online banking using free Wi-Fi.
Again, it falls back to us as individuals in the community to make sure that we stay vigilant and do not become complacent with our security in terms of our credit card usage or internet banking.
And if you've been the victim of card fraud, we want to know. Send us an email or give us a call.